Hello friends, welcome to my channel Code with Siddhi. Guys, if you haven't subscribed my channel yet, please do do subscribe and like my channel and hit the bell icon present on my channel so that you will be get updated whenever I upload new videos on YouTube. Okay guys, today we'll learn about abstraction and the another third topic under OOPS concepts, which is encapsulation. So in previous session we talked about data hiding. What is data hiding? How we can achieve data hiding in Java, and what are the real life examples of data hiding. Those all these concepts we learned in previous session. In today's session, we'll talk about abstraction and data hiding. Guys, these topics are very basic topics of Java learning. These topics comes under OOPS concepts. So guys, you should always aware of these basic topics first to understand the Java thoroughly. So guys, be ready to learn abstraction and data hiding. Okay, we'll see what is abstraction now. Abstraction means just providing abstract information, not explaining, not giving the total internal implementation of service. Okay guys, so just hiding internal implementation of service and just highlighting set of services what we are offering through your class, it's said to be abstraction. Okay, you'll be able to see this diagram. This is an example of abstraction. Okay, this is just suppose ATM machine have lots of services. They provide lots of services like withdraw, deposit, check balance, mini statement, change PIN, change email ID. These kind of services they provide to a customer. As a customer, we are able to we know that withdraw is service provided by ATM machine. By using that service, we will be able to withdraw money, but we don't know the internal implementation of that service, how that will process in the background. We don't know about that. Again, same with the case of deposit, check balance, mini statement. All these services they provide us, but as a customer, we can see that these are the services provided by bank peoples through ATM machine, but we don't know at the background what are the implementation of these services. Okay, so yeah, this is the best example of abstraction. Guys, let's see now. Hope you guys understand what is abstraction. Hiding the internal implementations and just highlighting set of services provided by your class is called as a abstraction. So advantage of this abstraction is you guys able to provide security. Okay, through bank ATM GUI screen, as we saw in the previous example, bank people are highlighting set of services. Okay, what they are offering without telling internal implementation. As they are not telling you internal implementation, that means they are hiding their private data, internal data. So in this way they are taking care of security. Okay, enhancement without enhancement. Okay, by using this abstraction will be able we can easily enhance the application. Okay, without offering outside person, we can able to perform any type of changes in our internal system, and hence enhancement will become easy. Then third advantage is maintainability. Okay, we easily maintain our application. It improves maintainability of application. Okay, and fourth advantages of abstraction is that it improves easiness to use our system, because end user do not worry about how it is implemented and whatnot, but just they only enters some inputs and they will able to get output. That is what means this is a very easy to use system. Okay, they need not worry about what are the implementation. So yeah, it's easy to use system because of abstraction only. It becomes very easy for an end user to use that system. Okay, now the question is, in a programming terminology, how to achieve abstraction. We talked about what is abstraction, we talked about advantages of abstraction, but main question in terms of programming is how to achieve that. Okay, using interface and abstract classes we can achieve this abstraction. As a programmer, you guys should know, maybe know about this, that abstract classes, in abstract classes we define abstract methods, and those methods means those are abstract. That means they don't provide full information or internal implementation. Interface is also serves the same purpose. Yeah, now guys, let's move ahead. We'll talk about now encapsulation. Hope you guys understand the previous topic, abstraction. Now we will look into the next topic, which is encapsulation. Okay, encapsulation. What is encapsulation? It is a process of binding data and corresponding methods into single unit. Okay, the best example of encapsulation is Java class. Guys, I'll give you example. Okay. Yeah, encapsulation is nothing but it is binding your data members and corresponding methods into single unit. Guys, here data members, binding these data members and these corresponding methods together in a single unit is called as a encapsulation. And the best example of encapsulation is Java class. Okay, as you can see here, I declared one class student. Inside student you can bind all the data members or variables along with corresponding methods. Okay, student can have data members like roll number, student name, student marks, student age, student class. Okay, and the corresponding methods like calculate marks, get marks, set marks, all these corresponding methods. So binding these all data members and corresponding methods into a single unit. Here single unit is a class. Okay, so this all concept is called as a encapsulation. So you are encapsulating this data member and corresponding methods in a capsule. Means you are binding these data members and corresponding related these methods into single unit is called as a encapsulation. So your Java class here acts as a capsule, okay, containing data members and corresponding methods. Okay guys, we'll see few important points related to this encapsulation. Okay, and there is one terminology called encapsulated component. Encapsulated component. What is this encapsulated component? Encapsulated component is a class if any component follows data hiding along with abstraction. Such type of component is said to be encapsulated component. Okay, I mentioned here data hiding and abstraction. If your component follows data hiding and abstraction, then such a component is said to be encapsulated component. Okay, so how data hiding will be achieved? We talked in a previous session that data hiding can be achieved through declaring data members private. Okay, if in your class, if you are declaring any data member as a private, then you are achieving data hiding by declaring your data member as a private. Okay guys, and then how you will achieve abstraction? It will be achieved through interfaces or abstract classes. Okay, we just covered that, okay, in the abstraction topic. So if I'll give you proper example of encapsulated component here. Just a minute. Okay, this is encapsulated component here. Okay guys, if your class or if your any component follows data hiding means when you declare your data member private. Okay, I declared here account class has a data member named balance, which I declared as a private. So whenever you declare any data member as a private, so that means you are achieving data hiding. Why it is called data hiding? Because if you try to access a balance data member outside of this account class, you will not able to access this balance. Why? Because it is declared as a private. Your private property cannot be accessed outside this class account directly cannot access. Okay, yeah, one of the condition of encapsulated class is we achieved by this private specifier. Now let's see how we will achieve abstraction. Okay, the component which follows data hiding and abstraction is called as a encapsulated is called as an encapsulated component. Okay, so we are seeing the example of encapsulated component here. So yes, one of the condition is satisfied here, we successfully achieved here. And the second one is abstraction. Abstraction means if you are hiding the internal implementation and just showing highlighting the services which are provided by your application. Okay, here I taken ATM GUI. It is a ATM graphical user interface where user will able to see only the service provided by ATM, service provided by bank people, and these are balance inquiry, any update balance. Okay, end user don't know about what internally implemented. Okay, what is going on behind this screen, they don't know. Okay, so we achieve abstraction through this ATM GUI. Okay, through the abstraction or through the interface. Okay, GUI is nothing but it is a kind of an interface only. So whenever user clicks on this balance inquiry, it will hit to this method get balance. Internally validation will be get applied and it will return balance. Okay, so if you guys understand that as our data member balance is a private, so no one can access this balance data member balance variable. It's outside of this class directly. Okay, they are accessing this balance through this public method get balance. Again, inside get balance they are returning balance, but only but only after successful validation. Okay, so security is so because of that only it is called as encapsulation provides you better security. Okay, you are binding your data members and related get balance, this set balance are related methods to this balance data member. You are encapsulating these whole things in a single unit called class or called encapsulated class. Okay, whenever you call the service update balance internally, this will call to a set balance method, and it will accept amount from the user what he want to update balance. and internally it will again validate the user information, and after that only it will say that user entered balance to his account balance. Okay, yeah guys, this is the way to achieve encapsulation in Java. Okay guys, we'll see now. We already see we saw that what is encapsulated component, but we'll see another terminology which is called as a tightly encapsulated class. Okay, which class is said to be tightly encapsulated? If a class having each data member declared as a private, then that class is said to be tightly encapsulated class. Okay, I mentioned here example, many examples, like if you see here, this public class A has a data member X which is assigned to a value 10 and which is a private. Okay, so a class which is having each data member declared as a private is said to be tightly encapsulated class. So here class A has only one variable, and that is to private, so class A is tightly encapsulated class. Now we will see the next example. This class B extends A. What this extends keyword will do is that class B, by using extends keyword, we will achieve inheritance. So inheritance means class B becomes child class of class A, which is a parent class. This class becomes parent of class B. Okay, that means all the data members present in a class A will be automatically available to class B. So now class B can access this X data member of class A, which is a private data member, and again B has its own data member Y, which is a private. So class B has all data members as a private, so class B again also called as a tightly encapsulated class. Okay, the classes which has all data members declared as a private are called as encapsulated classes. Okay, now let's say example 3. Public class C extends A int Z3. So here, because of this extends keyword, C class becomes child class of a class A. Class A has a data member X equal to 10, which is a private, and class C has its own data members called Z, which is not a private. Okay, it's not non-private data members. So yeah guys, as we just saw that if a class has all data members declared as a private, then only that class is said to be private, tightly encapsulated class. But as C has a non-private data member Z, because of that class is not tightly encapsulated class. Okay, hope you guys understand all the topics till we covered. Okay guys, now I will show you the practical implementation of these topics we talked about. Which one? The data hiding, encapsulation, abstraction, all are these concepts I will show you through Java programs. Okay guys, I declared here in a account.java file, I declared account class having a data member balance, which is I declared a private. So declaring any data member as a private, that means we are achieving data hiding concept here. Your data of a account class is hidden from outside world. So outside world means outside of this class you cannot directly access this balance. How? We'll see here. Okay guys, I have declared the another test class here. I have written a main method here so that my execution will start from the main method. So I just declared another account class. I created another account class object by using this new keyword. Okay, and A will refer to that another account object, created another account object. By using A here, I tried to access a balance, which is the data member of another account class. Okay guys, as you can see, I have declared in the same file, I have declared class another account which is having a balance as a data member, but I didn't declare it as a private. It is public. Public access specifier specifies that you can access the data member from anywhere, literally from anywhere. It will be accessible within a class and outside class also. So guys, one thing you need to understand, if you are not declaring your data member as private, that means you are not achieving security. Okay, you are not taking care of your data, the security of your data. So as you see here, what I did is, outside of this class another account. Okay, this class ends here at this curly brace, and after that I started a class test. Within a class test, within a main method, I created another account, the object of this class here, and I directly, by using this object reference, I am setting the balance. Okay, I am setting the balance of this account directly outside of this another account class. So which is not the right way. Which is not the right way. Okay, you should design your application in such a way that outside of your class no data should be changed. Okay, so if you try to print balance of a dot balance, you directly accessing your data member through your object. Okay, so let me try this code. As you guys able to see, my balance equal to 20,000. Okay, what I did here is I set the balance to 20,000, and after that I'm trying to print that balance equal to by calling calling a dot balance variable. Okay, this is not the right way guys. So it is always recommended to, okay, if I change this public to private as it's recommended by data hiding concept. Okay, so let's see what happens now. You will get an error guys. Okay, just let me destroy the already existing thread and save this program. Public. Okay, what I did is I didn't change this public. Okay, I will change to private. I will change this to private access specifier. Now I will save it, and again I'll try to access. As you can guys see this, now it's showing error as I changed data members from private to public to private. The field another account dot balance is not visible. Okay, why it's saying not visible? Because we declared that variable as a private, and private data members are only visible within a class, not outside of class. And here we are trying to print that data member from outside of class, which is within a test class. Okay, even let me try this code with this existing error. Let's see what happens now. I will run here. Let's see guys. Okay, it is asking errors exist in required projects. Proceed with launch. I'll say proceed. let's see what it is going to. Yeah guys, it gives a error saying that, okay, can you see now? Okay, it's throwing exception, saying java.lang.error, unresolved compilation problem, the field another account dot balance is not visible. Okay, balance data member is not visible now. Why? We changed its access specifier from public to private, so it becomes private data member now, and because of that it is not directly accessible outside of the class where it is already declared, which is another account class. Okay, yeah, so now guys, you'll be able to understand that how we achieve data hiding. It is always recommended to declare your data members as private. Okay guys, we declared the private data member balance. Now let's see, okay, how we will achieve data hiding. We'll see how we achieve, how, if it is a private, then how we are going to access that private data members. Yeah, we will access those data members, but through the public methods. Okay, through the public methods. Here I have created, I have called set balance method, which is present in an account class and which is a public. Because of its access specifier is a public, we are able to call that directly outside of the class. All the public data members or data methods are called outside of the class, as those are declared as a public. Those are accessible outside of the class also. So I called a1.setBalance, as we directly cannot access this balance by using this object reference, but we can access that balance through the public methods. Okay, I passed 10,000, which is amount I want to set as a balance. So I call set balance. This is a public method. As you guys see, void account or set balance, balance is present. Okay, I'll show you guys where it is present, that method. It is present here only. Yeah, oh shit, sorry guys, just give me a second. Yeah, here guys, in a account class I have a method called set balance, which is taking input as a double balance, and it will setting that balance to these private data members. So in short, it is accessing private data member, but that is accessible within its class only, so it is accessing through the set balance method. Okay, again, yeah, after validation only you will be able to set that balance only. I didn't write the validation code here, but in a real time example, validation will be applied. For example, what is the data? The balance should be greater than 0, and you have to provide your proper signatures, and then only it will be clarified that you are the right person to set the balance, and after that only you will be able to set the balance. In the same way, this get balance is also work. It will also apply some validation here, and after that only it will return your private data member balance to you. So this is the way to achieve data hiding and abstraction. This whole class is called as a abstraction. Okay, encapsulating these data members and related methods into single unit. Here single unit is a Java class, so it is called as a data hiding. Yeah guys, today's session is all about these topics. Hope you guys understand these topics in a better way. Guys, please do like and subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon present on my channel, so that you will be get updated whenever I upload new videos on the YouTube. Okay guys, bye bye, see you in the next session. Bye.